Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Strong and Bold. And today we are going to talk about trust. Trust. What is trust for you? What does it mean? How do you trust people? What has required for you to trust someone or something that is going to happen? What is the meaning of trust? So today I'm going to talk about trust, and I'm going to be reading from the book of Jeremiah. Jeremiah 17 verse 7 to 8, and it says, happy the man who trusts in the Lord and whose confidence is in him. He is like a tree planted near water that thrusts its roots towards the stream. It has no fear when the heat comes. Its leaves are always green. In the year of the drought it has no worries, and it always bears fruit. I'm going to continue with verse 9. It says, the heart is the most deceitful of all things. It is corrupt to the core. Who can understand? I, the Lord, search the heart to probe. Okay. So let's just read up to 8 and where it finishes and say, and it always bears fruit. What is fruit? This is something I like to say. Okay. So when people start dating, the first 3 months, the first 6 months, when everything is nice, lovey-dovey, anyway, I know you guys, never mind. So somebody will come and show you, I can do this for you, I can do that. They say a lot of things. But over time, it's like the masks start falling off. They do not keep their commandments. They are not accountable for what they say, and they don't follow up with the results. So for me, some people have asked, how would I know he's the one, she's the one? How do A, B, C, D, blah, 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 blah? And I will say, it's like their fruits. What does the fruit say? Are they gentle? Are they patient? Do they have wisdom? Do they keep their words? What is their fruit? What is the fruit? And that's how even I think Paul told us how to know people is by the fruit of the Holy Spirit, the fruits they bear. They are the fruits of the Holy Spirit. But also it's about like leaving that fruit of the Holy Spirit alone. It's like about being fruitful. As much as the Bible says be fruitful and multiply, but it's like, how can we know if somebody's saying the truth, these people are lying to us? It's like about the fruit they have. So are they presenting in one image, in front of cameras, in front of the public? And are they something different behind closed doors? And I know there are so many people who go with that front image, and they might date, they might marry these people. But as soon as the door is closed, you get to see a whole different person. But what I'm talking about is like trust in the concept of like God's promises upon our lives. But also if God says, like, let's say, this is your husband, this is your wife, it's being able to trust that word. But also testing it, not just like saying, okay, God, you said this is the person you said, and you sit with it, right? It's testing it by getting that confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. Because if God told you this is your person, he's going to give you confirmation and confirmation and confirmation. But remember, people, we have free will. So even if it could be this person, but they don't choose you, it's okay. You can be chosen by other people. But sometimes we walk in a path that we are very hurt, we are very unhealed, and we are very not ourselves. So let's say you met your first love. You are so happy. You that was your first love. You believed everything they told you. You liked them. You loved them. And then it comes to a point like you find out that actually your first love has another family. Yeah, they have another family. They have other people they see. But because you are very genuine, you are very innocent, you are very in a way naive, so somebody just like take advantage of that. So then long time process forward, moving forward, you meet somebody else, and Because, like, let's say, I don't think we all go in this world having unhealed trauma, having trauma bond issues, being toxic in relationships. I don't think that is the case. I feel like there was a time not only the environment we're in gets in us and then we become the environment, but also there's a time like that is what you see. So even if you grew up in a loving, caring family, you get into the world and then you see everything else is different from how you experience the world as a young girl, as a young boy, as a young man, you know, as a young lady. And it's like you start getting open. Like, remember when they say character development, everybody has that first crush, first love, either in your late teens, or you start from early teens, you know, early love, right? And then sometimes that, to some people, that is the love of their life, and they move on, they get married, and blah blah blah. But to some of us, unfortunately or fortunately, it's not like that. You get to experience different types of people. You get to experience different forms of love, different things in this life. But then our eyes, our hearts are tinted because we believed somebody at one point and they disappointed us. And then you walk with this pain, or you walk with this wound. Like, I'm going to put my guard up. I'm not going to trust anybody. I'm going to be detective. You know what I'm saying? Like, going through, if they say my name is this and that, you go through all the social media, look at you know, you even post them into some chats and groups, and it's like, okay, is this person clean? You're nearly even about to send that person to the FBI. Can you do background check, please? If there's any hidden families, any hidden, you know, it's not funny, but yeah, God heal us. um, then you live life without trust, because one time you trusted yourself and you trusted a person. They didn't turn out to be who they are. They didn't show up to be who they are. So you start having trust issues. It's unfortunate that there's so many of us that we walk through the world. We cannot trust what someone is saying, what people are saying, what people are displaying. So even if somebody tells me, like, this is a pen, I'm like, are you sure that is a pen? Yeah, I can say it's a black pen, but are you sure it writes like a pen, or it writes like a pencil? You know what I mean? So having trust in God, it enables us to trust human beings, to trust our fellow colleagues, to trust people around us. It is hard, and they say once bitten, twice shy, but only God can heal those wounds, can heal that damaged, and you learn a place where you say, God, help me. Help me to be in a healthy relationship. Help me to be a healthy person. Heal my pain, even the pains you didn't know existed. Like, sometimes you say, like, okay, fine, I don't care, like, you know, it didn't end anywhere. But it's like we have this scar in our hearts, in our mind, in our bodies, in our soul. It's crying out loud, like, I can't trust. Even people say, I'll get married, but I won't never trust this person. What's the point of that? You get married to unite with someone. You say, okay, I can't be single. I'm going to find someone, find your spec to be with. What's the point of that being your spec, but you do not trust it? It is hard. And there's this notion of, like, trust is earned. Okay, respect is earned. Even trust is earned. You show me. But the thing is, like, today, I'll ask my spouse, let's say, show me your phone. Let me see who else been calling you, texting you. He shows me his phone. And then tomorrow, the day after that, week after that, now I want to go through your emails. Until when, my loves? Until when, my darlings? Until when? All I can say is, like, bring this burden to God, because even a man can't solve it. Even a woman can't solve it. If my partner had, like, trust issues, he would never, like, I can't, there's nothing I'm going to show him from my phone that is going to show, like, I'm loyal to him. And there's nothing he can do for me to see that he's loyal to me if I do not believe in royalty and trust myself. I can't be open and vulnerable and say, I don't know how the names you guys call each other. I can be royal and say, babe, I feel a certain way about a certain situation. Let's talk about it. We can find a solution there. But if I keep on holding some of these things, they'll keep on coming up, piling all the way. I don't know until when. But all I can say is that trust, it is hard. Because the people we trust to lead us, the people we trust to look after us, the people we trust to nurture us, sometimes they drop us. There's this story about David. When Jonathan, one of his friends, had a son, and when David became the president, everybody who was with Saul, they had to flee, and then his son was dropped, and then David says, "Is there anybody in his lineage who is remaining? I want to show him kindness." And they say he had a son, blah 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 blah. He came. Now imagine this child going through life. He's crippled. He has a disability, where the people who are supposed to nurture him, protect him, look after him, they dropped him. And that's what we go through in life. I can say that there's nothing new under the sun. Everything we go through, somebody has experienced it. Even it's written in the Bible, all type of pain, all type of betrayal, it has been there. There's nothing new. We get to experience it as a new because it's just happening to me right now, but it has happened to somebody else. So now imagine what kind of life he lived, being dropped, being unable to provide for himself, being unable to move, and he was moving, he was okay, he was born okay, and then the world raptures us, the world makes us disabled. We might not be physically handicapped, but we might be emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually handicapped because of the world around us. How do we regain the trust in people, in humanity? First, we need to learn to trust ourselves, to acknowledge our mistakes and the parts we played in whatever that didn't go right or what went wrong. And then second, we need to seek trust in God. As what we have read, nobody trusts in God that he has ever abandoned them. Sometimes we do not understand God's ways and God's words, but in the bigger picture, he knows the end from the beginning. All you can say is yes, send me, use me, I accept, and let the magic unfold. But then if we do not trust in ourselves and trust in the Lord, how are we going to trust other people? And it's unfortunate that now we have marriages, and marriages, they don't last as long. However people used to say it back in the day. But the thing is, like, people have also changed. I'm saying generally, not just like a certain group or tribe or country. No, I remember my mom used to say, like, when you were in a friendship circle, because that time it was like neat, there was no social media. You could even call somebody, you were writing letters, right? And sometimes it will take forever to get to you. So when somebody like maybe lied on you, didn't do the right thing, there was accountability in the society. And I feel like that's what is lacking, being accountable, saying like, okay, apologize. Like, I remember back in the time when somebody would wrong someone, there will be witnesses, right? And they will sit and they will listen to the parties without favoritism, and they will judge the correct or the wrong outcome, right? And the wrong person. And if someone was wrong, they can apologize. I'm not saying people were not mean or were not rude or were not cunning and all that. They were there, some, but they were not as many as nowadays. And many people now tend to hide behind different things. So let's say the world is free. People can travel, can go anywhere. You can lie north side, you can go south side, you can go east. Any, you can even change country and be a new person, you know. All I can say is that even if you can change your identity emotionally, I mean physically outside, you're still the same person. There's nothing that you are going to do that is going to change who you are inside. So all I can say is that in the space of healing and recovery, I can urge us to seek God, to say, like, even prayers, like, if we have trust issues, like, Father, heal my trust issues, and list them, list what trust issues you have, and how people have disappointed you or betrayed you. All these things, tell him. He knows that, and only him can heal that pain, that wound, and also can fill that void in your heart, in your mind, in your soul regarding trusting others. But all I can say is that there's nothing anybody can ever do. Yes, people can add on that trust issues by not being open and transparency, but let's say they already are open and transparent, or you say, I'm struggling in this area, help me in this way. If somebody really loves you, they will support you in that space, because it's about, like, we're all coming unfinished products. We want to create something new, something beautiful, start a family, start an organization, start a business, start working in this new job. We are all new here, but it's like putting up your insecurities too. But the things, like, with this, like, loan lone star kind of thing, is like, we focus on our strengths only. We do not focus on our weaknesses. And if the enemy comes to use, they use our weaknesses. Our friends, like those people who have betrayed you in your life, they will use your weaknesses. All I can say is, like, master your weaknesses and know what they are. Don't let somebody else use them to their advantage while it's affecting you, how you are, and how you think. So in this space, is like, only God can heal our trust issue. Yes, the people you are with, you can even question them and ask for accountability. And if they're good people, they will show up in that space for you and say, actually, I did say this, I didn't do that. And they will even stand in the gap for you. They will support you in what you are saying, in what you need assurance or comfort, or witnesses. We are supposed to be witnesses for others. If something is wrong, is wrong. If somebody is right, is right. And if somebody has done something wrong, it's like taking that accountability and say, I am sorry, I was wrong in this way. But that is something we see less and less and less as we evolving, as we grow. All I can say is that we do not need to wait for a miracle to happen, but we can start fostering that trust generation, that trust empire, that trust normality, like make it normal, not just like backstabbing or kind of things that we have made normal. No. So if you can't even trust yourself, like, let's say, for example, you are not even accountable for what you say or what you do to other people, are you sure, like, you can even trust yourself with you and say, I am safe with me? Because if I'm not safe with me, I can't be safe anywhere. I can't be safe with anybody, because I'm not even safe with myself. So in speaking of that, let's learn to trust in the way God gives us, in the way God helps us to trust ourselves and others. So have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are, and see you in another episode. Let's learn to trust each other and how we can foster a trusting culture. Bye.